And we are live. What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite truck driver, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben with his partner in CALIX, Patrick. What's going on, brother?
Not much. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing much better than our friends across the pond,
Oh,
shall we say.
oh, hey, that's pretty much a given. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. They wake up at a discount. So
Yes, they do. Especially this morning, they got the wonderful news that they're at 13.2% inflation, and that they should expect a strong recession for the next year and a half.
yeah, that's code for the D word.
Yeah, and we ain't talking Dallas.
No,
No,
no.
we are talking deflation and depression. These people on mainstream media, somebody needs to get them some medication because they don't know what's going on. They're like, wait, because mind you, at the same time, the central bank announced that they were raising interest rates by 50 basis points. They're raising interest rates into a weak market. That is the recipe to create a depression. You're raising the price of capital into a market that is losing capital.
Oh, but we're going to be printing $400 billion more in order to fund these bullshit piece of legislation that Schumer and Manchin are engineering. Yeah, this isn't going to cost any inflation at any point whatsoever. No, not the $30,000 jobs that we're going to lose. No, it has no impact on that. West Virginia is going to lose its ass in terms of energy revenue.
Yeah.
And Joe can't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Walmart announced layoffs this morning.
Walmart.
Walmart's like, yeah, we're going to get rid of some office people, and next quarter, probably, a few thousand more down the line.
Holy crap! When Bentonville starts cutting, there's 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 pain in the future. Well, Robinhood just cut their staff by 24% the other day, and
Yeah.
that was preceded by a cut of 9% back in April. Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't see that we are in the midst of a shit storm ain't paying attention. We, for not really the first time in history, but the first time where it's actually out in the public, we have a Federal Reserve raising interest rates, but yet, with the other hand, they are doling out money every night to the banks so they don't go under. And We got Washington printing money and sending it out with all these spending bills. And so we have every single reason for high inflation. And at the same time, they're raising interest rates on loans. This, if no one watches, or if no one watching understands 1929, this is it. This is 1929 all over. And to put a little cherry on the top of it, we got the Wicked Witch of Washington going over to Thailand, or
Taiwan.
or Taiwan, doing her whatever kind of friggin' tour she's on. If you don't know your history, World War One, about 6 months before World War One, we had the same events lining up. And also World War Two. Who's God? Who's that one guy in uh, in World War Two, right before it really got going, who actually met with Hitler?
Oh, Neville.
Oh, it's all good.
Neville.
Yeah, Neville.
We'll have peace in our time.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. Yeah. You got some hobnailed boot up your ass. That's what you got. Yeah.
So we got Neville Pelosi over here literally going around going, oh, they don't like I'm here because I'm a woman, because I got a vagina. No, China doesn't like you there because they know that you're one of the people behind all of the biolabs that line that island like it's going out of style. See, people think that they only produce computers and chips there. That that island has, like, I think it's 41 labs.
Yeah, there's one on every corner with a Walgreens. Yeah.
Yeah. And people, think about this. Think about if this makes sense. China's been on lockdown for the last 6 months. This zero COVID policy. If they get one case, they lock it down.
Yeah. The people that brought you COVID-19.
Yeah. Does anybody believe that they're on lockdown because of one person might have the sniffles of COVID? No, they know exactly what Pelosi's doing. That's why China's like, all right, woman, you come over here. You're going to understand what happens afterwards is because of you. So China, after their elections, which I think is like in a month.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We used to have those elections up in Chicago.
Yeah. Elections.
Yeah, my dad's voted in the last 3 elections up in Chicago, and he's been dead for 12 years. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, he's a loyal Democrat.
he is. He wasn't before he died, but he is now.
It's odd how he went from Republican to Democrat.
Oh yeah,
Soon,
yeah. As soon as
soon as he died.
as soon as they signed a death decree. Yeah.
Oh, so judging from your point of view, right,
Yeah. Yeah.
is there any way that we're getting out of this situation without a very deep recession here in America or the D word, depression? Is there any way out of here?
There is, but it's not going to be taken. Um, Biden has shown clearly that he's not going to be party to an increase in domestic oil production. That would be the one measure that could be taken in order to move down that path, as well as cutting government spending. We can't be printing more dollars and putting them into the mix. The domestic oil production is key here because everything that we have is pivots off of that in terms of expenses. And those expenses are not just the consumers. We're talking about farmers getting diesel, truckers getting diesel. You're talking about both ends of the supply chain, the guys that are growing it, the food, and the guys who are delivering it. And you continue to charge them out the ass for the fuel in order to do their part in this continuum of food delivery. We can't see anything but increased prices in food and the process of getting us there. So until he gets off of this Green Deal nut, and I think dementia has ingrained the need to get off of fossil fuel for some reason. I think it's a control issue ultimately for the Democrats because it comes back to Al Gore's days of the carbon footprint and carbon credits and how things are going to be legislated in that respect. We're seeing that the SEC is being given responsibility for measuring the carbon impact of businesses. This is just another version of the what are they calling it? The ESG from the government on companies. So yeah, these guys they're all in on this shit. So no, this is going to be pain. This is going to be a lot of pain. So start canning vegetables. Start figuring out ways to cut corners. Start putting stuff on shelves.
Yeah.
If you haven't already started doing it.
What's crazy, what is more obvious with this situation than any other situation I've seen in my life is the rich are getting much, much richer right now. But the poor are getting destroyed with inflation. And now the poor, this unemployment rate is going to jack up and go up quickly with all these announcements. You know it's bad when Walmart's like, "Hey, heads up, we're getting ready to cut jobs." And Nobody wants to work at Walmart. Nobody. The greeters even hate everybody. You know, last time I went to Walmart, I walked in the door, grabbed my cart. As I walked towards the greeter, he begged me to shoot him. He said, "Please end my life. This is too much. I can't take it." And I said, "Oh no, you in another life, you did something really bad. Now God has punished you with this Walmart
Yeah,
greeter."
you voted for Hillary.
Yeah, yeah, no
You know, you
doubt.
should have asked him if he was an organ donor, because that might have sealed the deal for me.
That's true. You could save a life by taking a life.
Several, certainly. Yeah,
Exactly. Maybe some new eyes for somebody.
that could be. That
You
could
never
be.
know.
Right. Well, you know, it's coming. It's coming to a neighborhood near you. I mean, the Chinese are perfecting they might franchise that, the organ harvesting.
Oh,
So
absolutely. It's 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 reaching a point now where since 2008 the government and the Federal Reserve has propped up this zombie economy.
too
And
big to fail. We were too big to fail.
right.
Yeah.
Well, now they're the economy's dead. All right. And they're trying to unhook it from life support and think it'll pop back up. No, no, this is a rotten corpse we got sitting here. This thing ain't gonna jump up and do cartwheels. We have we have so much misallocated funds across our economy. We have so many zombie companies and zombie banks that are just, they're not profitable. They don't really make any money. And yet the banks and lending low interest rates have kept them afloat. Well, according to the Federal Reserve, they're going to keep hiking interest rates. So these zombie companies, what do? How are they going to get money? Are they going to borrow money at a higher interest rate? Are they going to issue shares at a premium? And what's that going to do? That's not going to look like they're strong. Who in the hell's going to buy them? It's This is the perfect storm. That if this isn't planned, then we have the dumbest economy or economist in the world at the Fed and at the Treasury. Because what the Feds, especially with the elections coming up, the Democrats are going to lose. They're going to lose seats they don't even know they're going to lose because of this economy.
Yeah, Mr. Powell's not going to have a job for too much longer.
Yeah.
And then I don't think Smelly Yellen will either.
No, Yellen is just, she's lost her friggin' mind.
My barber has a box of hair in the corner that is more intelligent than she is.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Fuck. Oh,
I
it's
don't.
transitory. It's nothing. It'll pay no attention to those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's for 6 months. There was, oh, this inflation's transitory. Transitory. Number one, who chooses these new words they always come out with? It's always some bull crap, cover it up words, like how they took the Build Back,
Bullshit.
yeah, bullshit law, and they renamed it the uh, Inflation Protection Act.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the same damn bill.
Right.
They just renamed it the
Right.
Inflation
Right. It's
Protection Act.
yeah. It's Davos speak.
Yeah, it's literally 1984. We we have our double speak, and they already tried launching the Department of Truth.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I mean, how'd that go?
Yeah. Well, once again, they thought we were idiots, and we can't read, and we don't comprehend what's taking place. I know. I had this great idea.
Yeah, exactly right here. Like the Patriot Act. Yeah, that we're going to pass a law, and it's going to be called the Patriot Act, and it's going to take away all your freedom, but it's patriotic. It is. It's everyone knows that we are and please, if you disagree, disagree.
And who is the genius that came up with that one?
Oh yeah, the Patriot Act. Oh, it just some well-meaning, communist just trying to help us all survive.
That came through on W's watch.
Yeah, he's a progressive.
That's the irony of all of this. He passes himself off as being a son of Texas and a conservative, and yet his grandfather was part of an effort to overthrow the fucking government back in.
Yeah,
Preston.
his grandfather was a Nazi.
Yeah, and dad.
Yeah,
Dad was the crown prince of the CIA.
yeah, and the New World Order. I love how they love to label us as conspiracy theorists. There is no New World Order. Hop on YouTube and type in George Bush New World Order. He lays it out, says the term about 400 times in different speeches.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you bring it up, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, huh? Yeah, the conspiracy theorist, because the president keeps on saying we're going to rearrange the supply chain. We're going to get rid of a bunch of jobs in America. We're going to ship them all over the world. And we're going to create a world trade organization that is basically going to equalize everybody's income so that we're all poor.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And you wonder why these food processing plants are on fire. Um,
Literally.
Land is being bought up by both the Chinese and Bill Gates. Why is that?
Did you?
Why?
Oh,
Why would they be doing that?
yeah. Uh, I I was listening to my early morning report with Farmer Dave. They have uh, Chinese company over in Illinois, and I I think him or one of his neighbors had someone pull up the driveway with a checkbook and said, "How much you want for your land?" And the guy asked him, "Who do you work for?" And he said some name. He goes, "No, no, no. Is it owned by the Chinese?" The guy said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Get the hell off my property." Yeah. They're buying our country 1 acre at a time because they know with this, all this coming down, that they're going to produce food, eh, corn, and all. It's not going to hit the market. It's going to go directly to China.
Well, they've been doing that anyway with their futures contracts, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's ugly, folks. It's while our government is actually paying our farmers to destroy crops. Look into the Great Depression. Look how they were slaughtering pigs. Look, there, there's a video on YouTube that shows just a row of potatoes laying by the road. I mean, just it goes for like 4 miles and it's like 4 foot high and it's all potatoes. And the government was paying the farmers to let them rot because they were trying to keep the price of potatoes up during the Depression. Now, people were in food lines in St. Louis and in Chicago and in New York, in soup lines. The mafia had a soup line in Chicago.
Oh yeah, yeah. Al Capone was funding soup lines up in Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it you
part of
know
his
it's
PR
bad.
effort. Part of his PR effort.
You know it's bad when the mafia's like, "Hey, we're gonna cut your break here." Well, we know we got our boot on your neck. Now the government's got a boot on your neck. You're running out of neck. All right.
We can't tell you where this soup came from.
Yeah. And don't ask what's in it.
It's right.
This may or may this may or may not be dog. It,
Oh, oh no. I'm thinking a little bit worse.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's Vinny?
Yeah,
Anybody see Vinny?
yeah. We like to call this Vinny soup. We're going to go through all that, my friends. They're going to manipulate this. They're going to, I don't know how they juggle an election, a depression, and yet money printing that goes almost directly to the already wealthy. There's two economies right now, folks. There's us at the bottom and those at the top. And there's a lot of acreage between there. The middle class, I don't even know if there is a middle class anymore. Is there?
I don't think so.
There can't be much left.
Well, with inflation rates being somewhere in the high teens, realistically, they're having every free cent taken. It's just a straight tax on them. There's no question about that. Yeah.
So we have someone here who says, my buddy sells wholesale onions to grocery stores right now. He got talked to when he tried breaking into a new region.
So they brought him up on the top of a building?
Yeah. It's just on a corner.
Yeah.
There's nowhere. Now, your children aren't really that young. They're like in their what, 80s?
70s.
70s. All right. Well, the younger generation, they can't afford a house. Who was it? Oh, the guy at Quick Trip. This kid and his wife, I think they're both about like 22. Together, they make about $100,000 a year. They cannot save up enough money and afford a house. They went to try and get a loan. They both got decent credit. And they said they needed 20% down. And if you want a house in a decent school district, you're way over you're looking at $150,000 to $250,000 for the minimum house.
Easy. Yeah.
And so they can't save up $30,000 because their health insurance has gone up, the gas prices are up, the food's up. He said his wife shops at the cheapest grocery store, and that they make one large meal a week, like pasta or stew or whatever, and they'll eat dinner, then they'll wrap up like 12 portions, and that's what they'll have for the rest of the week. I mean, for crying out, you got two people. $100,000 a year used to mean something. That's 6 digits, folks.
Yeah. When we were first married, I was making $9,500 a year.
How much?
$9,500, and Michelle was working part-time as a teacher at a preschool. Needless to say, we didn't have two nickels to rub together, but you knew exactly what every penny was being spent on. So
$9,500 a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. All right, we got Crypto Heathen. I love that name. He says, I'm 25 and in a very similar situation. You know, and your rent's going up. If you're renting, your rent is going up because no one can afford a house, so they're all renting. Well, rent's going up. All of their prices are going up, but their real income is flat. They may,
At best. At best.
right, right. Over in the UK, listen, think about this. This is how crazy it is. They said over in the UK, if you got a 3% raise in the last 12 months, realistically, you've lost 10% purchasing power. If you got a raise, how do you win? What are wages going to have to hit in order to break even? And if you do raise wages, well, that goes right into inflation.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah.
our economy is a snake eating itself. You can't fix it. You can't raise wages and not jack up inflation. And you can't drop inflation without literally destroying the economy.
So
And
the argument I would get from my boss is I would give you a raise, but for the preservation of the economy and the good of mankind, sorry, I can't do that.
yeah, it's either you keep your job and you're broke, or you get fired whenever we get into the depression part. See, the old saying is a recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose your job. Well, we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Now, mind you, there's still opportunity out there. If you have capital, there's places you can make money. But it's it sure in the hell ain't friggin' bonds, right? Did you see how the how the housing market's dead? My real estate agent officially told me housing market's dead. They're lowering lending rates right now as they're jacking up federal interest rates. You know what that means? There's there is no real estate market. They're trying to attract people with lower rates at the same time
Yeah.
the interest rates are. That's why the bond market's inverted. And it's been inverted for what, like 4 months now?
Yep. 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 No, all the air's being sucked out of the room.
Yeah, it's there's no way out of here that looks good.
No, no. And the housing market, not only is it dead in terms of you and I going out to buy a house, prices are going to drop. Ultimately, the rates are going to increase because they have to. But maintaining ownership of a household, of a house, is going to become more and more difficult for a lot of people.
Yep. It's we're at the brink of a shitstorm, and I hope you're building an ark, because
This will be my second one.
Yeah. It's going to get ugly, folks. And it's not only are we going into a depression, there's not going to be a credit market, because the credit market, the interest rates are going to be ridiculous with credit, and the banks are going to be too scared to loan money.
Yeah.
2008?
Well, to be honest, though, the way that works is they originate the loan. They generate the revenue off of the fees, and then they sell the paper. So the question is,
going to sell it to?
Yeah, well, that was where I was going, is who's going to be picking that up, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah, and apparently the Federal Reserve has flat out said,
BlackRock.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to buy it, because the Federal Reserve, they're selling toxic debt right now.
Oh, they've been selling toxic debt for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they had been doing with consumer debt for the longest time was the sale of toxic debt. They would take people in the outer regions of credit scores, the riskiest debt, and sell that off wholesale with risk rewards in terms of the rate of return that you would receive, because there was such a threat of BKs coming in from those crowds. You could possibly find yourself underwater pretty quickly. Yeah, that's been going on for a long time, and it's going to continue. Yeah.
Do you know the best performing asset in the last, what was it, month and a half or 2 months? Bitcoin. As crazy as it sounds, the best performing asset in the last 2 months is actually Bitcoin. Now, mind you, it's fluctuated. It's like 19 up to 23, 19 up to 20. It's fluctuated. But in today's market, that's stability. It's that crazy, folks. It's
and anybody who's playing the channel game on that is seeing a 10% gain in a matter of weeks. I mean,
yeah. Oh, absolutely. There are people making a ton of money on that swing trade.
Yeah.
I think my coffee got cold.
How could that happen?
Yeah. Now my creamer's all chunky.
You need one of these.
Why, yes, I do, Patrick. Oh, wait. We have a word from the sponsor. Don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're called CALIX Solutions.
I have. I've heard wonderful things about them.
Oh, they're an amazing company. And according to their representative that I spoke with, apparently they will be in the office answering the phones. So here's a word from the sponsor.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
And we're back. So just was it this week that another wallet got hacked or something? Was it Celsius? No.
No, Celsius has other issues.
Yeah. It
Slope?
Lope. Was
Slope.
that it?
Slope.
Slope. Yes. Another one got
derogatory.
hacked.
It's a derogatory term, folks. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yes. Which ethnicity should be offended?
That is Asian.
Oh, slope, because they're not good at going skiing? Or
No, I'm not quite sure where that it originated during World War II, but I don't know what the actual etymology of the term was.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Slope.
yeah. And it was quite commonly used during Vietnam as well. So
Slope. Huh. Maybe there's something about Asian people I don't know.
well,
So, guys and gals, point is protect yourself with a crypto laptop. Calix Solutions. We hear about email hacks and phishing and all that. Patrick, why is having a brand new crypto only laptop so important for everyone who owns cryptos?
right. It creates, first of all, a sterile environment. You're not using the same laptop that you use to communicate with folks through emails, where you're receiving ads, links, potentially malware. This laptop is to be used for buying, selling, and storing cryptos only. We have a dedicated email that is used for this laptop. And by doing that, you really restrict the access for the bad guys to get in and drop stuff on your laptop that you don't want. And also, it foments it creates a need for a change in your behavior. So you obviously become a participant in this, and you are guarding yourself from doing stupid shit, like shopping, going to websites that you shouldn't be going to. Not for this laptop, anyway.
When you buy a laptop, we send you an actual packet with it that helps you change the way you think also.
Right. And then there are videos in the portal.
Yes.
Only our clients get access to the portal, and they're how-to videos, instructional in terms of how do I set up a hotspot? How do I move cryptos from Coinbase to Exodus? How do I deploy a DIVI node? How do I actually liquidate my cryptocurrencies and go back to fiat if I need to? So there's a number of different things that we provide information about: how to change passwords and PINs, how to add wallets. Yeah, there's a number of things that you will get with this laptop that you wouldn't get anywhere else. So I would certainly advise that you take advantage of this and develop some good behaviors when it comes to dealing with your cryptocurrency purchases and storage.
Absolutely. And crypto heathen, ledger and treasures are great, but very easy to forget in a pocket and put through the washing machine. Trust me, not fun. That's why now don't get me wrong. If you want the security of your cryptos on what looks like a key ring, go right ahead. Plus, remember that treasure and ledger interacts with the laptop. So if you're plugging your treasure or ledger into a corrupted laptop, that treasure or ledger ain't shit. If you take a diamond and throw it in a toilet full of shit, you've got a shitty diamond. I'm just saying.
Yeah. The other thing too, treasures and ledgers do work with this laptop.
Yeah,
we have plenty of clients that use it, and that's fine. The fact of the matter is, when you find yourself in an issue with your Trezor or your ledger, good luck contacting their support team.
That's true.
Because they're really non-existent. On the other hand, if you use what's termed a warm wallet, like Exodus or Atomic, those guys are really responsive.
Yes,
they'll help you out what the problem is, and yeah, they're much better at providing that type of a backup than Trezor or Ledger. Secondly, the security architecture of the Trezor and the Ledger is identical to Atomic and Exodus.
1-800 call Patrick.
Thanks, Robert.
No. If you have questions about the laptop, if you have questions about CALIX Solutions and what we offer, give Patrick a call at 702-845-8276. Patrick, will you be answering calls?
I will. And Manny asked me if I would mention updates about the laptops. Great point, Manny. There are two different forms of updates that you will get. One of them is there'll be Windows saying update/upgrade to Windows 11. Do not do that if you have a Windows 10 machine. It's fine with Windows 10. If you do Windows 11 on that, it will override a number of the modifications that we've made, and you will be stuck with the bloatware associated with Windows 11. Second,
Windows 11 is not good.
No, they're actually already talking about Windows 12.
Oh, I bet they are.
Windows 11 isn't bad. It's not bad. It's not. It isn't Windows XP. It isn't Windows 7. Yeah.
XP was. Nobody likes to talk about XP.
No. But the updates that come through on Windows from Microsoft, go ahead and accept those. A lot of them have to do with security. and you certainly want to have that as current as possible. So, yeah, go ahead and accept that. Fireman Jim is asking for his birthday song. You're going to have to go somewhere else. For the sake of
come on, Pat.
No, for the sake of mankind, the last thing you want to hear is me singing. There'd be a lot of blood coming from ears. So no, I won't do that.
Trust me, you don't want to hear me or him sing.
No,
It's not pretty.
yeah, that would be a lovely duet.
Let's just say when I go to heaven, I'll be the only angel that Jesus says, Ben, shut the fuck up. We don't need none of that up here.
Yeah. Here's a tambourine. Use this instead, Ben.
More cowbell. That's going to be me.
Yeah. And Bonnie's right. That's what the mute button's for.
Exactly. All right, everyone. We got to roll. We got work to do. Everyone have a great day. Oh, and this coming Friday and Saturday, I will be in Oklahoma City. Check out underneath the video. I got links for tickets to the event. The Saturday event is with LITCOIN Lisa. It's a charity event for her foundation for her daughter that she lost to cancer. So if you're around Oklahoma City, or if you just like to purchase a ticket to do a donation, much appreciated.
And Bix is there tomorrow, right?
Yes. And I will be there tomorrow evening after the show. I'm hopping on the highway, getting to Oklahoma, and I will be there on Friday night and on Saturday, back home on Sunday, getting ready for the Florida move. All right, everybody, have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Patrick will be back on the show tomorrow, and make sure that you give Patrick a call about the laptops. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.
Adios, everyone.